I'm not a fan of TikTok. Let me make that clear. Am I going to be mad if TikTok ends up getting shut down in the US? Not really. That whole app is a clown fiesta. I will, however, feel really bad for anybody in the US using the app if it does end up getting shut down. Why? Because chances are you're probably going to have to move to a new app called Byte, which a lot of people are going to say is the new TikTok, which really sucks because Byte is kind of trash. So I downloaded Byte, right? And first thing that I noticed is that it's literally just a copy of TikTok. Literally the exact same thing. But it's like a really crappy and cheap and like watered down version of TikTok. It's sort of like one that you'd find at a dollar store. Literally everything about Byte is the exact same as the way that TikTok works. All the tabs are the same. The interface is pretty much identical. The way that it shows videos is the exact same. Byte works the same way that TikTok does, except that it's like way uglier than TikTok. The only real visual difference between Byte and TikTok is the Discovery tab, and it's only really different because the Discovery tab on Byte is horrendous. It's ugly. It kind of looks like this. I do think that's kind of ironic that the first option on Byte's page is the /trash option, but there is one major difference between Byte and TikTok, and that is the length of the videos. On Byte, the longest video that you can have, the absolute longest, is 16 seconds. On TikTok, you can have one that's like closer to a minute. It's way longer than 16 seconds. And that doesn't really sound like a really big deal, but if you think about it, that takes a lot of potential for a lot of people in terms of content. There's a lot of people on TikTok that use up a lot more than 16 seconds for their content, and then they get sort of cut by Byte. Truth is, there's a lot of really good creators out there, and they make some banger content, and they have some really good ideas. The problem is that a lot of TikTokers need more than 16 seconds to make a really good TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Because 16 seconds is not nearly enough time for like a skit or like a tutorial or like some sped up art or like an art tutorial. Any of that probably requires a lot more than 16 seconds. It might border on like 30 seconds or maybe even a minute. See, everybody gets screwed over by the time constraint of 16 seconds because they can't have a minute anymore. Like skits get screwed over, singers get screwed over, artists get screwed over. People who do tutorials, a lot of people lose out on an opportunity because they are totally screwed over by this 16-second time gap. And it basically limits certain types of content on Byte, and it means that only certain types of people and content will succeed on this app. And it's really clear in the way that this app works too, how much having only 16 seconds impacts the type of content that you get to see. After scrolling for close to like 30 minutes on this app, I did not find a single thing that left me impressed. Usually on a TikTok, I can find something that I'm like, now that's cool. On Byte, none of that. I did not believe that I saw a single skit, a single person singing, a single person doing art, a single tutorial, none of that. The craziest content, like the absolute wildest and the most hype content that I saw was just somebody talking to a camera. I'm not even exaggerating when I'm saying that that was the absolute wildest content that I saw. Everything on that app is just so dead. Like it lacks so much energy. And the cute little dances that a lot of people see on TikTok, none of that. I mean, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but it's sort of like a staple on TikTok, and on Byte, zero. Not a single one after scrolling for 30 minutes. So you might be asking yourself, well, if there's no art, there's no skits, there's no tutorial, there's no singing, there's no dances, what even is there? What kind of content is there on this app? And you know what? That's a great question. I honestly don't even know. In my 30 minutes on this app, it was nothing but just a bunch of people staring into their camera as text shows up on the screen, and that was it. And it didn't show up once, it didn't show up twice. I'd say that that probably accounted for like 70 or 80% of the content that showed up on this app, which is insane. Like, there was no energy behind it, just text on a screen and people staring. Like, boys, I came onto this app to watch your videos and maybe get a small chuckle out of it. I did not come here to read entire essays and get depressed because of how low energy your freaking video is. And then I just watch you staring back at me as I read your text, and you stare into my soul for like 10 seconds. Like imagine this, imagine this. Okay. Yeah, it's sort of like that. And so imagine scrolling past that 200 times in, like, not even exaggerating, 200 times in 30 minutes. Pretty embarrassing, am I right? I also think that's a major problem when I scroll by on Byte for 30 minutes and I did not laugh even once. And I didn't even have to try hard not to laugh. It was just naturally unfunny. Like, people on Byte who make your videos, I'm sure you guys are hilarious in real life. But the thing is, on TikTok, there's people on there that are pretty funny. You know, they do a skit or something and it lasts like 30 seconds. They farm major lol W's and then, you know, it's all good. On Byte, it's so low energy and it sucks. I also want to talk about the algorithm of Byte for a little bit. Now, I hate using the phrase the algorithm because it's sort of like a meme. You know what I'm saying? And I don't really want to look like one of those weirdos who like huffs their own farts and whatever, and like they think that they've hacked through the walls of reality. But I just want to briefly go over the idea of the algorithm in Byte. So when I first logged on to Byte as an experiment, this was a couple weeks ago, I started liking all the deep fried memes that I see, just to see if that would have an effect when I scrolled on it later. So today, I scrolled by on Byte, didn't see a single deep fried video in my For You page, not a single one. The type of content that I saw today after scrolling for 30 minutes was the exact same type of content that I saw when I first logged in on the first day, and I think that that's a major problem. Maybe that's just me, maybe that was just my experience. It might be different for you too, but I don't know. Now compare this to TikTok, where the very first thing that I did was follow a guy called Caleb City. I log off that day. Next time that I log on, my entire page is filled with like skits and whatever, and stuff related to his content. And then I start to see stuff related to like art tutorials, you know, stuff related to the things that I watched, like shows or whatever. It's all stuff that fits me pretty well. TikTok's algorithm is really good at knowing what you want. Now, it obviously knows you a little too well, and it's a little too good at its job, and it sells all of its information back to my boys in China, which is a problem, but hey, you can't win them all. I was also doing a little bit more research into the app, and I read something about the app that was sort of concerning to me. It sort of made me a little worried because it sounds really vague, but if it means what I think it means, then it's really bad for the app and the community as a whole. So if you look on the Google Play Store, on the description of Byte, it reads, "You can explore or watch what's loved by the community, handpicked by our human editors, or just served up at random." What's a little weird to me is the second part where it says handpicked by our human editors. Now, like I said, this part is sort of vague. It's not that specific, but doesn't that mean that what you watch could potentially be dictated by the employees over at Byte? This seems a little sketchy to me because, like, let's say for example, all of the people working for Byte are just weirdos, or they're furries, like the admins at Discord. This is all for example, by the way. So wouldn't this mean that if a bunch of furries posted like a bunch of weird content, like the latest FurCon party or whatever onto Byte, and all of the Byte employees were like, now this is epic, wouldn't that mean that they would push it out and promote it to a lot of other people on the app, and then Byte becomes like a breeding ground for furry content? I don't know, man. It seems kind of sketch to me. Obviously, this description made by Byte is a little vague, and it does feel sort of off, but I feel like everything about the app as a whole is just kind of weird. I think a lot of people are expecting Byte to climb the ranks and, you know, sort of become the new TikTok in an amazing conclusion, and then it would be a massive war between Byte users and TikTokers. Not really. TikTok just died like a wet, sad little fart, and then now everybody has to go onto Byte because it's just like the next best thing. And you know what? I hope this app really does prove me wrong. I think that this app actually does have some potential to it, and I think it actually could become a fire app today, but at the moment, is far from perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is KFC Legends, and I hope you'll stick with me for more content on my channel. Remember to subscribe to me on YouTube because I actually just got monetized the other day, and I need a way to pay for college, so please subscribe because it actually does really help a lot. And I might actually make it part 2 because there's a lot that I made in this video that I couldn't cover in the time constraints, and it was just, there's a lot that I could say about the app. But I might make a part 2 if this video gets enough support. Also, remember to follow me on twitch.tv/KFC_legends. I want to thank you for watching this video all the way to the end, and I'll catch you in the next one. Later.